What's up, guys? The May Patreon rewards are now available. Cyclonic Rift, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and Avacyn Angel of Hope are all available through the end of the month. If you'd like to support our channel and pick up these sweet proxies, you can do so at patreon.com/itresolves or by clicking the link in the description below. What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic start to your week, a good solid Monday morning. I am very excited because today we're playing one of my favorite archetypes, which is Esper Control. Now, things you may notice about this deck: we have no new Ikoria cards in it, other than, like, technically there is one land, but we had it in M20 anyway. So I'm excited about this, though, because I think, despite not having any of the new cards in it, I think it's fun to see how decks that were kind of established previously do in a new standard environment with a lot of new cards opposing the decks. So that being said, let's run through this. So if you don't know, Esper Control kind of focuses on, like, just outvaluing the opponent, especially with a lot of planeswalkers, which you'll notice we've got quite a few. But that being said, in the 2-drop slot here, we've got 2 Birth of Meletis as a way to kind of keep us alive against a lot of these aggro decks. We are on the best of one ladder. We do have to be aware that that is going to be a thing. Gaining a little bit of life, spitting out a wall, and just making sure that we hit our land drops, all very, very crucial in those matchups. Excuse me. 2 Dovin's Veto here as a way to deal with opposing non-creature spells. Great to hit like an Ember Cleave or, you know, some kind of just any non-creature spell, really. What I will say, though, is, you know, with Omori decks running around, this is one of those cards that I would be considering. I would consider maybe kind of swapping out for something else. This is very much a base template list for an Esper Control deck, so this is not necessarily the end-all be-all. I think you can tech this out a little bit. But having a couple Dovin's Veto in here is a nice way to just be able to deal with those non-creature spells whenever you need to. 4 Thought Erasure, pretty much a staple of this deck. It's very, very good to be able to just remove the next threat your opponent could play from their hand for only 2 mana. Not only that, with Surveil, though, this obviously gives you a way to fix the top of your deck a little bit, just to make sure that you're getting the cards that you need, so it helps you dig through. As we look at the 3-drop slot, we really get into some planeswalkers here. So we've got 2 Narset Parter of Veils. This one is great for shutting down any kind of draw deck. It also helps you get to, you know, a Shatter the Sky, Elspeth Conquers Death, kind of whatever you need to get to. Narset really, really helps you get there. Teferi, we've seen in every control deck ever because it's that good. It shuts down opposing control decks pretty well. Any instants and sorceries, you know, no flash stuff, essentially, which is really, really good. Not only that, but it helps you draw some cards and just tempo out the opponent. Kaya's really here as a win condition, but also a great way to deal with, like, Lurrus decks and things like that. Exiling cards from the graveyard or just exiling a non-land permanent on the battlefield with converted mana cost 1 or less is actually really good against the Lurrus decks. Most of their deck is 1 to 2 mana. It has to be. So it's very, very easy to kind of take over if you can get a Kaya out early. Oath of Kaya is also very, very good because it does kind of second guess. It makes your opponent kind of have to think a little bit more about their attacks. If they're trying to get rid of a planeswalker, they're going to drain some life. And this also just kills creatures and gains us a little bit of life. So it helps us kind of stay in the game when we need to. In the 4-drop slot, we have a 1 of Oracle of Half-Truths. This is just a great card to have. It's awesome to kind of put the pressure on your opponent and just say, hey, which one are you going to give me? You get to pick, obviously, but they kind of have to figure out the best way to do it. Usually, that's very difficult to do. For Shatter the Sky, obvious include, we need sweepers. We have, I mean, 1 creature, technically. And so having sweepers, very, very important. Having 4 of them, very good. 3, Elspeth Conquers Death, a way to deal with kind of bigger permanents on the opponent's side of the field, but also bring either a creature or a planeswalker back from our graveyard. Most often, that's probably going to be one of these 3. However, you know, if we find a Dream Trawler in the graveyard somehow, or Liliana or Ashiok, then this just becomes that much better. Ashiok, a way to take over the game for sure. Just being able to spit out some tokens is usually pretty good, but also, if you can ult, you can just kind of start to steal stuff, which is really, really good. Or you can just kind of return and exile a card from their hand, which is also quite good. Liliana is a 1 of. This is just another game-winning kind of card. One that spits out tokens. It draws you a card if any of those creatures die, or it can deal with the opposing creatures really, really well. So this does a lot for this deck. Dream Trawler, the best control creature, I think, right now in Standard. I mean, it has pseudo hexproof, flying, and lifelink, so it's gonna dig you out of stuff. It's gonna stay alive. It does everything you need. It also draws you a card, in case that wasn't enough. So this is really, really good. If we look at our land base here, we've got 26 lands. We've got 3 plains. We are pretty heavy on the white. 1 island, 1 swamp. We've got 2 Castle Vantress and only 1 Castle Ardenvale. As far as shocklands go, we've got the 2 Hallowed Fountain, we've got a Godless Shrine and a Watery Grave, 2 Fabled Passage to search up our basics, 3 Temple of Deceit, 2 Silence, and 3 Enlightenment. We kind of want as many Scrylands as we can get in this deck. We do want to hit our mana on time, but it's nice to have these in the opener because turn 1 we're not doing anything. So it's great to have a lot of these. And then we do have a few of these like gain life lands, so Scour Barrens, Tranquil Coves, and then a Dismal Backwater, excuse me. So we do have kind of a nice land tech package, I will say, that's hopefully going to allow us to make sure we hit our lands when we need to. So let's jump in. Let's see how this goes. I'm excited. I really, really do like Esper Control just in a general sense. I think it's always a little bit, it's generally pretty good. I think Azorius Control is much more streamlined, and so that has its uses, but with the Planeswalkers in this kind of deck, you get a lot of really, really cool tech. Also, guys, I'm very sorry. I know the frame rate has been an issue lately. It looks like it may continue to be. I'm doing the best I can to reset things on our end, but it has been bad lately. And unfortunately, there's not a ton that I'm able to do to fix that. I'm actually going to put that on the bottom. We've got most of the lands we need. I don't know if this is just in our area. My assumption is probably not, but we've had the networks just in general have been very, very bad. And I'm sure it's just because a lot of people are on. Makes a lot of sense, but it's frustrating to say the least. Let's throw this out and let's get Birth of Meletis down. Go ahead and pull a Plains. That just helps us thin out our deck, make sure we hit our land drops, which we've got plenty of lands at this point, but just to help us get there. Next turn we can Temple of Enlightenment. Would probably be the best card here. And it looks like we are against a Yorion deck, so I'm expecting, a lot of permanents to be bounced, that kind of thing. So far, they seem to just be content growth spiraling, which is a little silly. But hey, whatever. Is this 4-color Yorion? It looks like it is. It's actually not a bad draw because it does give us another play here. Oath of Kaya. I don't think we really care about Oath of Kaya. We're also about to shuffle it away anyway, so it didn't matter. Let's go ahead and get this. All right. Nice to be able to, play a Skyland and still get, some spell down. Next turn we do have the Oracle of Half-Truths. And then following that up, we've got Elspeth Conquers Death, so feeling okay. Double Uro. Pretty good. Dovin's Veto, huh? I think I'm going to take the opportunity to play the Oracle. I'm not sure about leaving up Dovin's Veto here. My assumption is they're mostly going to be creature-based, but I could be wrong. We definitely don't care about lands, so we're going to take that. Maybe we should have left it open. They didn't want us to have it. Tasty. Things we're excited about right now, by the way, guys. We've got those basic lands coming in. The proofs are coming in this week. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we created our own basic lands as a way to, just get something that we've created out there. We're really excited about them. They look amazing. I worked really, really hard on those. Will definitely approved a good bit, and so we've really, put in the effort there to make that work. That's kind of fine. I don't really care that much about that. All right. We do have a basic island somewhere in our deck. I think I'm going to play this and pass. We'll see what the opponent wants to do here. I kind of just want to Dovin's Veto it. Seems bad, but like, might as well get the use out of it just because. We have a backup. We're kind of baiting them into playing something else like that, so, and that's fine. We're not gonna counter the second one. The idea here is that makes them think we probably don't have a second Dovin's Veto. And we were very hasty to go ahead and play that one out, so we'll see what they want to do. Let's go ahead, pull the Fabled Passage. Get our island. Tranquil Cove. Let's play this out. And we'll pass. And see, we may end up having to scry, so. We don't have a second black source here, but I guess we don't really need it. I'm trying to think, really the double blue, double white is more important in this list. Let's go ahead and scry. My assumption is they'll have responses of some kind. I hate these frame rates, guys. I know it's very annoying. I'm so sorry. That's fine. Don't really think we want either of those. We've got the Elspeth Conquers Death, so... Oh, well, that's great. Let's go ahead and do this. And we'll just Shatter. So we do have a Dovin's Veto up. And we got rid of their 6/6 flyer, which would have been a problem. We'll veto that. Wow. Yeah. That's actually okay though. We have the Elspeth Conquers Death. Ooh, and Thought Erasure. Let's do that first. It's a very good deck. I think we have to take that. As much as I don't love it, I think that's the right call. We're going to keep that on top because my assumption is they may try and cycle the Sharknado. And so that's going to give us a way to deal with it. I think we'll just take the opportunity to play this tapped. Huh. This is going to be a tough match for sure. This is a... We're both above our starting life total. Granted, that's going to change for us in a sec, but... I like this Yorion deck. It's pretty sweet. Excuse me. The opponent seems to be counting their mana.
Behold, nature's true power.
Let's go, let's go. Okay. It's pretty good. I
like a good fight. Notice I didn't say that.
Let's get rid of both arrows. Just keeps them from being able to play it. And we'll pass here. We can spit out a token to block and keep well, we're not going to be able, I suppose, to keep Kaya alive most likely. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just scry. That might set us up a little better. If they kill Kaya, we do get Kaya back if we would like to. We also could get the Oracle of Half-Truths, so we'll kind of see what we want to do. Yep.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Depending on how they attack, we might spit out a token. It just kind of depends. I think in this case we will block. It keeps Kyle alive. Not that we've got too many things we care about in their graveyard, but I think that that's correct. Ooh.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
So we really need a sweeper. So maybe it would have been better to scry there. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the opponent likes to or wants to give us. Really do apologize for the frames, guys. I know it's frustrating. Trust me, it's beyond frustrating on my end. Ah. Probably was incorrect, but that's okay. Let's play this out. I'm gonna exile the token here. And yes, I know that gets rid of Kaya, that's fine.
You better watch your back from here on out.
I think we're gonna do this. That just makes this unblockable. And we'll block one of, or attack one of these guys. Probably just Teferi, I think. And then we get to play out a Dream Trawler. This is a tough game. Very tough game. Oh, duh. Of course, I can't attack. That was really dumb. Alright. And we do have the card in hand to give it hexproof. So. Here's to hoping. This is a really interesting game. I'm loving this. I mean, it is an Esper Control list. The expectation is the games are going to go pretty long. We're game 1 and we're at like 20 minutes in. But that's okay. They successfully tapped my creature, but the effect fizzles, so they don't get to draw a card, which is great. Interesting, by the way, I didn't really comment on this, but really interesting that they have a Genesis Ultimatum. I don't really see that card very often, but that's really cool. Like, I'm into it. Cool. I don't know really what they'd want to bounce. I guess that works, but don't care that much, to be honest. Well, thankfully that's kind of a dead card, so we can always keep it for this. I don't really care about Teferi that much. I'm gonna do this. That's fine. I kind of just want to keep this from ulting. And in this process, we'll lose the Oracle most likely, but we kill one of the lands. I'm fine with that. It's a trade-off. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to matter which one too often, so. Let's play Temple. No, definitely don't want that. And we'll pass here. We get to leave up both castles, one of each, so we'll see. I don't think we can we play both? Probably not, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, actually, yeah, we can. If we would like. I like that. I like that a lot. Technically, we could scry 4. That's pretty sweet. Interested to see what the opponent is going to do here. Are they just going to tick up Nissa, or are they going to ult? My assumption is... Okay, they're going to ult. That is interesting. This is a tough game. This is a fun game, but this is a tough game. It's been going on for 20 minutes, essentially. Okay. It's the opponent. That was loud. That's a cool interaction, by the way. I didn't really think about that. This does pull out the Triumph Lance. We'll block 1. Save ourselves a little bit of damage. It doesn't matter that much, but any little thing we can do is going to be somewhat helpful. Destroy this, maybe. It's kind of fine. We don't have any planeswalkers out anyway. Don't super care about that. Ooh, that's not bad. That's a dead card. This is gonna kill the one of these two things, I suppose. Sleeper no longer kills these, it's worth noting. Oh. That's a cool little interaction too. Yep. Get a counter. Or get a... Huh. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna kill Teferi, I think. Just get rid of that. And we're just gonna attack in. Draw a second card here. Not actually all that helpful, but that's okay. Get us a little bit of life here, and we'll pass. All right. I mean, the opponent has some real good stuff, so we just kind of have to hope we get there first, I suppose. This is going to be a lengthy video, guys. We're in game 1. Yeah. That's fine. That is fine. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm really glad, by the way, we exiled those Uros with Kaya. Because that could have been very, very bad. Ooh, that's rough. Yep. Yep. That was a great turn for the opponent. And that may be enough to take over the game. We'll see. Hmm.
Harness the elements.
So the problem now is obviously they have an endless way to create tokens, and those tokens are indestructible. Let's do this trick again. It's not really much of a trick, but let's do this again. Block a little bit of damage. We do have to consider it might be worth it to pull the trigger on the Shatter the Sky. We'll certainly attack in first before they do that, but that is a possibility.
I'll protect you.
Hmm. Problem is, if we do that, we lose this. They get these. Let's do this. It's a really interesting place to be. Get rid of Nissa. Actually, I think we put that in the graveyard. Do we not have a second black source? Wow. That was kind of a mistake, I suppose. Does this not let us discard stuff? Is that what it is? Yeah. I think at this point we might have lost then. That was a mistake to play that into it, by the way. Yep. I can just block with any of these. That's fine. Okay. I guess we'll put that one first. It really doesn't matter. It's not bad, but I mean they've got a heck of a setup here. I'm gonna probably just go ahead and concede. I think they've got more than enough cards in hand. I think I'm gonna go ahead and concede. I will be right back, guys. I know that was a long game. I just have to jump off for like 2 seconds, but I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, sorry guys, just had to jump off for a quick second. Let's go ahead and jump into game 2. I know that first game was long. That first game was longer than a lot of our videos ever are, but that's okay. So let's jump into it. Hopefully these games will move just a little bit quicker, so this video isn't crazy long, but this is a keep, I believe, between these two and Kaya. I think this is a good starting point. We'll see what the opponent's up on, because that is going to be, you know, kind of a tell as to whether or not we'll be able to swing a win. But as far as that first game goes, I think we actually did okay considering what we were up against. With Nissa ulting, it's very difficult for like a Shatter the Sky deck, which we are, to truly win. And the problem with them getting like Tamiyo out, for instance, is that obviously we can't do much about that either. So a little bit tricky, unfortunately, but we'll see how we do in this one. Yeah, let's just play this out. This Thought Erasure. Triple Thought Erasure is pretty heavy. Let's take that. Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna keep that. We're most likely going to Thought Erasure again next turn. And potentially even the turn after that. Let's play the Cove here. And let's do it again. Ooh. Mean. We don't actually have to worry about that quite yet, though. Let's take this. I'm gonna put that in the graveyard. I don't think that's the card we want. Not 100% sure, but Gonna get all the lands. So really in this matchup, we're just looking for a good sweeper. That's a good card too, I will say. I'm gonna keep that. Let's go ahead and get this agent out of hand. We already know that's there, that's fine. Okay, so now they're top decking and we've got, you know, a decent amount of stuff for them that they're gonna have a hard time dealing with, I think. So let's do this. We will get, what do we need? Let's get second white here. Let's do this. I'm gonna just minus. They get to replay some stuff here, but that's kind of okay. Here they can start mutating onto this, but we tempo them down, and now we can just kind of throw out tokens, plus a Dream Trawler, and another Dream Trawler. You'll notice I'm trying to play a little bit quicker because we did have a bit of a slow game that first time, but that's okay. Yeah. They're going to try and go wide to deal with this, which makes sense.
The shadows awaken.
Do that. Yep. And let's do Dream Trawler number 2. All right. Well, that feels pretty good. Hoping this, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, I kind of hope that's enough. All right. That game went a lot smoother than game 1. So let's go ahead and jump into game 3. Hopefully we can keep this under like a 45-minute time. We will see. But I mean, you guys know anytime we have a pack, we got to open it. So let's do it. Frame rates were better that game too, so that was good. All right, guys. Last game for this video. We'll jump into a second video with this one. I like the feel of this deck, I will say. Azorius Control is kind of the standard. The one that I kind of compare to most often, because that's kind of the base control deck, I think, for standard right now. And I will say this feels pretty solid. This hand does not, though. If any of these produce black mana, I would be into it. Blah. We're gonna have to keep it. I'm gonna put Lily back, and we'll lean on the temple here, hopefully getting a black land, but don't feel strongly about this. We'll see what we get on the next draw here, but that's going to be a pretty big tell as to whether or not we can do this. If we don't draw a black source, we'll probably just throw out Castle Vantress, because it's going to enter tapped most likely. Might as well get it out of the way while it's not going to matter that much. Gruul aggro of some kind. Ugh, bad. Bad, sad, bad. All right. Well, here's to hoping. I'd say Gruul aggro. They're not being very aggro, so maybe it isn't Gruul. Or maybe it's not Gruul aggro, I should say. Nope, kind of seems like it. Oh, guys. This is bad. This is quite bad. There's not much we can do about it. I mean, we just kind of have to hope. Good news, if we do get a black source, we can kill this, but... Oh, God. What are you going to do? Unlucky. Honestly, it would have been better at this point to have kept the first hand. Only good thing I will say, we do get Elspeth Conquers Death this coming turn. Just get rid of that. That's a problem card, but chances are we just lose here. We can bounce something that they do, and that's like fine, but not great. If they just Ember Cleave, yeah. All right. So we lose. That was mana issues 100%. If we had drawn a black source, we could have killed that way, way earlier. And probably Thought Erasure something. So that was just mana issues, unfortunately. So not a great showing there, but it is what it is. Okay, as far as this list goes, we are going to kind of sum up our thoughts in the final video, or in this part 2 of this. But I do like the feel of this deck. I think that mana issue is something we kind of saw hinted at in game 1, where we only had one black source and we couldn't double up on like a Thought Erasure, and Ashiok, I believe, was the turn that we tried to do. Or maybe it was Oath of Kai, I don't remember. And so that, I think, is a slight issue. Don't know if it's a big enough issue to say like this whole thing needs reworking, but we'll hopefully figure that out in game 2. Just want to mention again, before we jump off, the basic land cycle, those are on their way. The proof order, at least, is on the way. So I'm really, really excited. I'm hoping that those look good. If they do, we're hoping to get those up to you guys by like the end of the week, maybe. So that way, if you're interested in purchasing any of those, you're more than welcome to. We'll open that up for you guys there. But very, very excited about it. Seriously, that's going to be really, really cool to have something that we really did make out there for you guys. So thank you very, very much for watching. I know this one was a bit of a longer one. Hopefully the next video won't be quite as long. But either way, I really do appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon for part 2 with this Esper Control list.